Professor Wergeles here. We just saw that there was an error with the second hand. What I would like you to do is actually try to fix this on your own. Stop the video here, use the tools that I've already given you. We talked about z-index, so I'm already giving you a big hint there, and try to use z-index to fix this problem. I'm going to go ahead and continue the video, so the option is up to you whether you stop the video and try it yourself. But if you do, you're going to become a better programmer, because then you'll run into some problems and you'll need to search Google and try to figure them out yourself, and then that will make you a better developer. Now, before I begin, I don't want to spoil the solution, so if you're going to stop the video, do it now and come back after you've given it a valid attempt. Now, the first thing that you may think of is, okay, well, let me just reorder these. If I want the second hand to be on top, I'll just make it last. And you'll see that does work. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to ensure that no matter what order these hands are placed in, the second hand will always be on top. In this case, maybe I do load last and it is on top, and maybe I don't need to worry about it. But if you're a good programmer, you'll say, okay, even though I put it last and it's on top by default, I'm going to specify the z-index anyway. That way, if any random thing occurs that may mess this up, I've specified z-index, so it will make sure that this does not get switched around. So I've actually placed these in a random order on purpose, so we can take advantage of that z-index and ensure that the second hand will be on top. Now, remember, z-index only works on positioned elements. So if I scroll up, I have the clock position, and the second, hour, and minute are also positioned elements. Now, z-index does not work on all positioned elements. It only works on relative, absolute, and fixed. Well, in this case, the position is absolute, so z-index should work. I'm going to go to the second hand, and I'm going to type z-index here. I'm going to type z-index, and let's say I put it at 1. Okay, 1 is higher than all the others, so it'll be on top. But the minute hand needs to be in between the seconds and the hour. Well, if I do z-index 1 here, now it is going to be on top because it is last. If the z-index is equivalent to each other, whichever one is loaded last will be on top. So z-index 1 for the second hand is not good. Well, I have 3 elements here. So I could do 3 here, and for the minute hand I could do 2 here, and for the hour hand I could do 1 here. This will ensure that the seconds is always on top, the minutes is always in the middle, and the hour hand is always on the bottom. Now in this case, it's good to put a z-index of 1 here. I could say, okay, I'm just going to leave the z-index 0, this is 1, and this is 2. But what if some other element is added to the display? For example, the clock is also z-index of 0. So these two are 0. Let's say some weird case happens, and then the hour hand is now below the clock face. Even though that case is very rare, it could happen. So I recommend not putting a z-index of 0. Go ahead and specify a z-index here. That way, if there's another element on the page, it will override the default z-index, which is 0. Okay, if we look at our styles, we put a margin and padding of 0 on everything. We fixed up the clock face. We got rid of the bullets. We made the clock in the center, no matter how big the viewport is. We made sure the clock was in the center, no matter how big the viewport is, by doing margin auto on the left and the right, which is right here. We have background images for the hour, minute, and second hand. We have specified a width for both, and we put them right in the center of the clock. We did 600 minus 30 divided by 2 is 285. Now the style is perfect. You can imagine me developing this app. So the first thing is to write the HTML. So we had the HTML, and the next thing is to do the styling. So I like to do it in segments. I write my HTML code, save it, do a commit. Now I fix up the styles. We've reached a point where I can do a commit because the styles are looking really nice. After I do the styles, I add functionality. So you always do content, then add the styles to the content, and then add the functionality to the content. And then the next step would be to do the server side. Create a database, have data there, interact with the users with that data. So I always do it in increments. You do the content, do the styles, and now do the functionality. So we reach a good point. I'm going to come back to get. I'm going to do a get status. You'll see number 3, CSS clock index.html has been modified. I'm going to do a get add. You can add all, or you can just add this one file that we're going to be changing. Do a get status. You'll see it turns green. I'm going to do a get commit with a message. And we didn't finish the whole example. We completed the content and styles for our CSS3 clock. I'm going to commit, so that's going to be a save. You'll see I've inserted 15 lines of code. We deleted 7. If I do a get status again, okay, you'll see that that file has been added to the commit. If I do a get log, you'll see we have 3 commits now. We finished the first example position.html, we finished the Polaroid example, and we completed the content and styles for our CSS3 clock. You can see who committed those changes and when they committed them as well. Stick with Professor Wergeles. We finished the content, the styles. We need to do the functionality, which is step number 3. And we're going to do this in the next video. We'll see you in the next video.